week, boys, and another pod. This week, we're talking about gaming, everybody. As always, Arc Raiders, Destiny 2, RuneScape, and children, potentially. And that is on the agenda today. Liv, take it away. What are we starting with?
Let's start with RuneScape. I've actually kind of been MIA this week. I don't know if you already covered it, but like, did you hear about the player voted microtransaction removal poll in RuneScape?
So first up, I'm just not overly familiar. They've done polls in the past.
Yeah, I can explain it. I can explain it.
Go ahead and explain. Is this for old school or RuneScape 3?
It just says RuneScape and Jagex. I can look it up real quick. This is why you look at the agenda. I was expecting you to know what that looked like, that website.
I'm being told it's for RuneScape 3.
RuneScape 3? Okay. So RuneScape 3, they came out and they said that they're holding player vote on the removal of, it's a microtransaction system called Treasure Hunter. And they said it's a 14-day poll. I actually watched the whole video, like the statement from the lead of RuneScape 3. And he was like, we need to redefine, he's the new CEO, actually, newer CEO. He said we need to redefine how the game makes money, because in the past we've been making money off of people essentially being able to skip content that's essential to the core of the game. Like, we let them pay and they get these, you get to skip content, get further along in the game, do in-game stuff faster. And that's how we fund the development of the game. He's like, I don't want to fund development of the game in that way though. So I would like to keep skins, keep cosmetics in the shop, but let's remove these microtransactions that they did surveys. And they said that 54% of players would not like other players to be able to skip content or move along more quickly via like real money. And so he was like, this is, y'all get to decide. Like 54% said this, y'all decide. We're going to put up a poll for 14 days. I would like it to be removed. If we get 100,000 players to vote yes on this website, then we'll remove this treasure hunter system. And in order to prevent, I think, just random people from going on and voting, you have to log in with your RuneScape character on the poll page in order to vote. So you actually have to be a player of the game. And so, yeah, they already hit 100,000 as of yesterday. And so they're going to, he said that this will like change the history of the game, because it's always been funded this way and it will no longer, they're moving away from this microtransaction.
It's only been this way since about 2011 or so.
He said 2012. Okay, 2012 was when it was introduced. Yeah.
And when back then we said we didn't want it.
Yep.
But let me also be real. Most RuneScape players are not playing RuneScape 3. The majority are playing old school RuneScape. And RuneScape 3, like, I have almost a fully maxed out account on RuneScape 3. Never play it. And that's, there was a lot of reasons for that. Evolution of Combat was one. The MTX was another. So it's good that they're doing this. But at the same time, I guess they're trying to get some attention on RuneScape 3.
I think so too.
But if I'm going to play RuneScape, I'm going to play old school.
Does it change that I actually don't know how long the CEO has been around for, but for the top comment on his statement that he put on YouTube was, I wasn't sure about Mod North when he was first announced as new CEO, but the fact that we've seen more of him in the last 6 months than we ever saw of Mod Pips in all the years he was CEO is telling. So there might be new leadership and just an attempt at a new direction for the game in general.
Well, how most CEOs do. If they're really trying to make a splash when they come in, they'll make some big changes. I don't know the guy. But that's good.
But would you give it a chance? Like, if he introduced new concepts to the game, would you go back, or are you just old school RuneScape or nothing?
At this point, probably old school RuneScape or nothing. I'm just not interested in RuneScape 3 anymore. And I think that most of the people are probably already, every majority of people are maxed out on RuneScape 3. Like, it just doesn't have the prestige that back in the day that it had when you had like 99 and a lot of different skills, or questing cape or something like that. A lot of people have maxed out accounts in RuneScape 3. And so it's like if Bungie keeps going in this direction for Destiny 2, where everybody gets high tier loot and whatever else. That's why I mentioned Destiny Classic or something, or relaunching Destiny 1. Old school is for the actual hardcore RuneScape players. That's where the hardcore go. And then RuneScape 3 is for, people that didn't want to leave their old accounts, or actually, I don't even know what new players they're bringing into the game, to be honest with you, but they probably got new players playing. But the point I'm trying to make is like, that's why I was bringing up Destiny Classic. It's like you could have the old, like the hardcore community playing like a classic version with harder RNG, exotics meaning something. And then have, I guess, Destiny 2 be the more casually approachable game. Don't think that's ever going to happen. And I know like a lot of people don't want to do that, but I'm just throwing that out there. And I'm basing it purely off of RuneScape's example.
Do you think people would react like that, though, to an old school or a classic Destiny where they're like, I already feel maxed out in Destiny 2. I'm just going to go back to classic, if anything?
1000%, dude. I think this community would eat up a classic version if done right. It has to be done right. It has to be done the way Jagex handles, old school RuneScape. And it could be a place where you don't pull back on the prestige of items. I love what Cammy's point in this video was. Bungie is appealing to a multitude of different archetypes of players inside of Destiny. And what they end up doing is they end up fucking themselves essentially, because there's just two. There's like I think he mentioned like maybe 10 different archetypes of types of Destiny players, and that's just too many different types of players that you're trying to please all the time. And so that's why I say like a splitting of the game, or splitting of and then you've got your hardcore, and then that's the case. If because you got your casual players out there right now that's like, I want my tier 5s and I want it now. I pay for this content. I want to play it and I want to be able to beat it. You know where I'm coming from? All right, fuck it then. Go do your thing. And then we've got our hardcore version of Destiny.
Yeah.
Is there enough content though for a D1 Classic?
I think there's plenty of content. There's not enough.
There's so much content from over the years.
Not enough developers, Les. There's just not enough. There's not enough resources.
But do you think D1
old school RuneScape? Hold on. Let me say, old school RuneScape didn't just go, hey, here's 2007 version of RuneScape. Have fun, motherfuckers. They rolled it out and they essentially took an alternate path, essentially saying,
oh, so they kept developing
it. They kept developing it, and they essentially said they essentially laid out everything that they did wrong in the previous version of RuneScape 3.
I see.
They avoided those potholes in the road, but then they developed it, and it was completely community driven. That's not to say they didn't make mistakes, but it's as if it's like if you were like, all right, I just developed Destiny 2. Man, we fucked up here, and here. Now let's do an alternate version of Destiny. We know to avoid those fuck ups. We know to not add those features or things that made things worse in the game, and then they develop it completely separate from Destiny 2. But again, they don't have the resources to do that.
I got you. Okay, so they made RuneScape, old school RuneScape, and it just kept adding content to it.
It's its own game.
Gotcha.
It's its own game with its own like skills. Like it's like
Interesting.
It's like you woke up, you're in 2007, and suddenly the years that followed it went a different way. And avoided.
I see. So it's just like an alternate timeline.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. I would eat that up.
Is that just Destiny Rising? That's a great question. Is that just Destiny Rising? No, because Rising's only available on mobile, and it's a gacha game, and it's only available.
I don't think a gacha game could ever be the same as a classic.
Mm-hmm. No.
Would you bring it to PC or keep Destiny Classic on console?
It has to be on PC. I think.
Yeah.
In this day and age, it has to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Has to be on PC. But again, neither one of these things, it's never gonna happen. Yeah, it's just never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But as far as RuneScape goes,
I can see the Halo route though.
What are you talking about?
Halo's the story.
Halo's already remaking all of their Halos. I think it even leaked out here recently that
only the campaign though. Do you think Bungie would do that or would want to do that?
Or are you saying that Bungie would go back and remake all the campaigns?
Yes.
But put it where?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So you're talking about specifically going back and
remastering it and selling that. Kind of like what Halo's doing. Campaign Evolve.
I just don't think people would want to buy it again.
No one will buy it again.
Yeah. I would like to see that Taken King story in 140 frames.
Sorry. If
we're view, you know what I mean?
If we're talking about original D1.
Yeah, I'm saying D1 making it like the
anything that was sunset in D2, you probably couldn't convince me to go.
Yeah. You're talking about if you did a Destiny Classic and then you remade
that's probably the route they would go to.
It's just difficult because they've already reintroduced raids into Destiny 2. So
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
There's already like a muddying of the water there if you were to add in D1 campaigns into Destiny 2 maybe would help the story, but the problem is they already screwed the story over with the sunsetting. So it's just, it feels like if you did one, you'd have to do it all and then fix everything up and make
it's
it
too much copium.
Original.
I clearly know, like,
it's way out. It's beyond,
yeah. I just don't think that Bungie's got it in to do something like that, and at the same time, like maybe them making Destiny 2 an overall better product is the way to go. But I don't know if that's even possible. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see what Renegades holds.
Renegades will make or break the game.
The game is, I think, already broken.
I think,
it's in a broken state right now, for sure.
I mean, the player numbers, player population is incredibly low. It is lower now than the January's lows. I think what was the average for October this year, guys? October,
like
October
9K?
No. It's not that low. But
are you talking about all like console included?
Not console included, but just piece. Like, I'm just pulling Steam charts right now.
Last 30 days peak was 32K.
Well, look at average. Let's look at average player numbers. For October was 14,346. That is the lowest.
That's the lowest ever.
That is the lowest by a large margin. You can go through every month of every year since Destiny 2 came out to us, and there's only been 3 times that the average player count for Destiny has dropped in the teens. And all 3 of those have occurred this year. January 2025, September 2025, October 2025. And the only reason why we're even bringing that up is because if you go look at the numbers from, was it New World? New World actually was showing pretty good numbers.
50K?
Or like at 30 or 21,000 for the past 30 days. So pretty good. And they also came to consoles, but they getting shut down. And, so I know like Bungie doesn't have as much overhead as they had back then. Or, they say they don't. I don't know. But yeah, that's not good. That's not good. The Renegades. I'm gonna just say it like this. I'm gonna play Renegades. I'm gonna enjoy it. I hope I'm gonna enjoy it. But I'm gonna play it thinking that it may be the last expansion, guys. I think the reason why we haven't gotten another roadmap from Bungie is because they cannot commit to timelines right now. Now they could roll out with the roadmap next week. But is it going to deviate much from what we originally... We know that they said there was going to be they talked about next year's rollout of content, that will finish the second year, around the second year of prophecy, right? But I'm just that's kind of how I'm treating Renegades, man.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think it rides on Marathon.
But Marathon
will dictate Destiny's future.
I don't know if they'll commit to a timeline beyond. We don't have a Marathon launch date, so it's really hard to say. But I would tend to agree with Cross in that they're not committing to a timeline right now because it's really hard to commit to a future when you're not really sure how things will play out. With the only future that's solidified right now is Renegades. We've got a month to go until then, and like the player count will bleed until then, and then I think a good portion of people that have already pre-ordered it, that pre-ordered Edge of Fate or the whole year, or just are excited about Star Wars or whatever, like we will see a spike in player count in December. Will it hold on to players? That'll depend on the quality of the expansion. And if you don't know if your expansion can hold on to players again, and you don't have anything else lined up, well then people are going to leave and not even be anticipating. I'm playing Destiny less than ever right now, knowing that I usually take a break around this time every year. Like that's not abnormal for me. And I go play other games, but I know that I have something to come back to in 4 weeks. And in 4 weeks after Renegades, I don't know if I have anything to come back to afterward, which is, that's sad, but there's no timeline. We're 4 weeks out from Renegades launch. I think all of their attention should be toward marketing Renegades. And so like, when's this timeline going to come out? Who knows? But if I were them, I'd also have a hard time to committing to one with so much uncertainty.
I really don't.
I think the most.
I was say I just really hope they don't flood Eververse with a bunch of Star Wars cosmetics and then just be like, hey, everything you want, a red lightsaber, gotta buy that ornament.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say,
gotta buy that ornament.
I think they've been pretty good.
Eververse, they've been pretty good.
They've been pretty good. That's not my concern right now. I like.
In Eververse, even if there were, there's probably going to be Star Wars cosmetics in Eververse for a Star Wars collaboration, but they've been pretty good about it in general. And what, you think they're going to fund the future of the game with 50,000 people? If 50,000 people come back? We don't even know how many people are going to come back. No. Microtransactions were worse when they had hundreds of thousands of people playing the game. I don't think that Eververse dictates the future of the game right now. I think Sony does.
Yeah, Sony for sure. I think For Renegades, I'm not super concerned. I do think a lot of people have bought Year of Prophecy already, so I don't expect to see like people will come back to check it out at the very least. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned that Bungie is going to have a very hard time selling the next year of content, similar to how they did this year, unless Renegades isn't amazing, which
unless there's some major promise for the future.
Yeah, or unless there's a huge reinvestment into Destiny 2 as a franchise with more content and like something that's actually like much.
Renegades can be mid. Renegades can be mid if they're like, all right, Destiny's back. Like that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in any world. But I think it's the Edge of Fate year. We kind of know what we're getting already. I don't think there are going to be any crazy surprises. If in future years they're like, all right, here comes our reinvestment into Destiny. Like Sony believes in Destiny again. They're funding it. Like, here comes all of your content.
It's interesting you brought that up. Y'all see that article from Paul Tassi this week?
Yes.
That was interesting. It was an interesting take where he's essentially saying that, Sony needs to stop constricting Bungie so much. And, there's a lot of different ways to look at that. I can see why Sony is doing what they're doing and constricting from like a profitability standpoint because they have invested so much. And secondly, Marathon was delayed, by damn near 2 years, or at least the beta was supposed to roll out as early as into 2023. But yeah, what is y'all's thoughts as far as like Sony here and their stance on this?
I think Bungie is getting punished by Sony for the decision-making skills of either current or former leadership. I'm not saying Pete Parsons is responsible for nitty-gritty decisions that have like lost full trust from Sony. But if a parent company is looking at one of their subsidiaries and being like, yeah, so all of these metrics and launches that you were supposed to hit, you're not hitting them. Your players aren't really liking the decisions that your leadership team is making. We don't know your player base as well as you do. Like, we bought you to actually be good at making live service games.
Yeah, to be and good, to be the experts. Right. They bought them experts. To be the live service experts.
And so I think when you make terrible decisions or decisions that your players that don't go over well with your player base, you lose the trust of your parent company, and they're going to be a lot less likely to want to fund your future decisions. And
well, they gotta believe. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say they gotta believe. Justin Truman is now studio head. He was the one who presented the GDC panel that talks about how to run a live service game. So the question is Justin good? You know what I mean? Is he actually, because they made him studio head. So obviously they bought into what he had to say. Now, who is structuring this year's rollout of content? That who is responsible for that more? Is Bungie more responsible? Is Sony more responsible? Is this Bungie showing Sony, hey, we're hitting timelines like you asked. You wanted to make sure we never have delays. This is it. This is the strategy that you don't like delays. So this is us. We're doing it. But obviously the content's not going to be as dense.
No, I don't. I think we'd have a timeline if that was the case. We just saw this with even Ash and Iron. Not that was an expansion, but it was a launch. They had to the exotic mission came out a month later because it wasn't done. I don't think that they're not hitting deadlines. I don't think they have the headcount to hit deadlines in the way that they were before. And there's probably a lot of technical debt in this game from when they did have a much larger headcount that they're constantly working through. Seems like everything they launch gets broken by something else that's probably been in the game for a long time. I think that's just a rough thing for any developer to deal with, especially when you're doing it.
They're quote unquote hitting deadlines. When I say not meeting deadlines, I'm not talking about the exotic mission. I'm talking about Finer Shade being delayed, 3 extra months, or other expansions rolling further. You see where I'm coming from? So those are the big things that Sony doesn't like that. I'm actually really curious to know what Sony's philosophy on this, because why do these companies want live service games? It's consistent revenue flow, right? Every single year, and it doesn't have as you don't have the peak and bust cycles that occur with any type of form of entertainment. Think about like a movie. You don't make monies with movies until the movie actually rolls the fuck out, right?
Sure.
What's the parent company for Rockstar? Is that Take-Two? Luke?
Hold on. For Rockstar Games?
Is it not Take-Two?
It's Take-Two. Yeah.
All right, so
interesting. They had a good take on AI this week that we'll talk about later. But
Take-Two has been in the hole now for the past couple years.
Yeah,
but they have the stomach for it because they know that GTA, when it rolls out next year, is going to make absolute bank. And so they're going in the hole to make sure that this shit gets developed in the way that it should be developed. What I'm saying is like, what is Sony's mentality on this? Do they not have the stomach? You know what I mean? Granted, that's GTA versus Destiny.
Or do they have the stomach?
I think they.
And they're banking on
do cross
one of Bungie's projects.
I mean, Final Shape was delayed. Yes. Marathon is delayed under Sony. I mean, they allowed, like I think they have the stomach for it. I don't know if it's going to like work out in the same way that it will for Rockstar, but Marathon's delayed. I think that the reason we don't have a timeline for next year is because if they committed right now to saying next June, you're getting this expansion, but then they have to delay it again, that looks worse than just giving us a timeline later when they are more sure. So I think Bungie has a good bit of leeway with Sony in terms of delays. They're not a stranger to delays, that's for sure.
I don't think so. I'm just personally letting you know. Sony lost Helldivers. Arrowhead's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They Concord would ruin anyone's feelings about live services, and Sony just blasted a fuck ton of money into that. And now their supposed expert is also running way behind on literally everything, on top of whatever else, all the difference.
There's a difference, though. In my opinion, Sony might. We can like argue whether or not they have the stomach for delays. They're not funding.
I'm not saying they have the stomach for delays. I'm saying, do they have the stomach for live services anymore?
Got it.
That's what do they have the stomach for live services anymore after their shitty experience for the past 2 years?
Yeah, I think it's a good question.
And the only reason I bring this up is at some point the $1 billion company just stands up and says, fuck it, we're done. And, because Amazon is essentially done that with New World. Fuck it. We out.
Yeah.
I feel like Sony's strongest projects have been single-player story games. God of War,
Well, I mean, I think that's a good segue into why Amazon, like during the Amazon layoffs this week, and what their philosophy is moving forward. I think like you just kind of hit the nail on the head. So Amazon said this week that it's important for the company to reduce its headcount in order to take advantage of the perceived opportunity presented by AI. So this is a direct quote. We've taken a critical look at the evolving dynamics of gaming or of the games industry and competitive landscape. While we're proud of our successes in first-party AAA game development, we have made the difficult decision to halt a significant amount of our first-party AAA game development work, specifically around MMOs, including making significant role reductions in our studios in Irvine, San Diego, and our central publishing team. The focus is on more casual and AI-focused games. They're like halting AAA game development for casual and AI powered games is their new strategy. And I was going to ask y'all what y'all thought about that, but they said that they're doing a significant shift based on like online trends and how people want to receive games now.
Go trend chase. We'll see how that works out for you. Definitely working out for Bungie and Marathon right now.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, look at Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders wasn't trend chasing, but after all these extraction shooters, they come out with their own, and it's a banger.
I would say this about Embark. They've made a good PvP game.
What they're doing.
They made a good PvP game before, though, with the finals. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like completely out of the question for them to have made. It's a PvPvE game, but it's still PvP is a huge core of it. We have seen Bungie and their ability to balance PvP and Destiny now, and so I'm just not that. I don't know. That's whatever. So that's a statement from who was that? Was that AWS or who was that?
Steve Boom. It's the Amazon audio, Twitch, and games boss is how he's described in this article.
They specifically said we're going to target AI and casual games. What does casual games mean? What do you mean, Candy Crush?
I don't know.
That may be it. I mean, there's a lot of money in Candy Crush or like games like that. There's a fuck ton of money.
The only thing he cited specifically halting is he said specifically around MMOs. So they're not entirely halting AAA game development, but they said a significant amount of AAA development, specifically MMOs. So maybe their thing is just like MMOs are not it anymore. We don't want to develop them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but I really do think that they're probably looking at the money, the potential return on investment for the upfront cost. And to me, what casual game says to me is a game that takes almost nothing money-wise to make.
Yes.
Like something that's like super low for your actual cost, but has the potential to make a sizable amount of money. I think that they're probably looking at the younger generation, the newer generation that's coming up of Gen Alpha, and they're probably not playing MMOs as much as the older generation is playing.
I can't stand
MMO
it,
games.
I think that's the reason why that comment from Microsoft, the guy from Microsoft this past week, where he said essentially, Luke, pull up that tweet. Hold on. Give me just a second. Let me grab this tweet. So I don't take anything out.
I watched the full video, but yes, you can pull up the tweet too.
All right, so this was a tweet, or this was said by Satya Nadella. Am I saying that right?
Satya, the CEO of Microsoft.
Yeah, CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, echoes Xbox bosses Matt Booty, cites short form video, TikTok, Instagram, etc. as main competitor. Gaming's competition is not other gaming. Gaming's competition is short form video. We're going to be everywhere on every platform. The biggest gaming business is the Windows business. All right, so
in that same interview, I went and watched the whole thing because kind of out of context, that makes little to no sense. This kind of ties into the fact that Xbox hardware revenue is down 25 or 29%. That's the projection for Q1 2026. They compare it to Q1 2025. So 29% down on hardware. They're in development for next gen Xbox. And in that same interview, Satya says that people are thinking of PC and console as two different things. And Microsoft is looking to revisit what it means to deliver gaming to people and the experience of gaming. And so the fact that he's talking about short form content as his biggest competitor kind of goes on this tangent of like, when we started developing consoles, it was to like have a PC, but dedicated to gaming that functions better than a PC. And now people are still seeing PC and console as very, very different things, and we want to merge them. And I have plenty of thoughts about that, of course, and its cost. And at what point would you just get a PC if you're like looking at this console PC hybrid? But Microsoft is in development of its next generation. And he's talking about when they are developing this PC console hybrid, what even is the competition? And he thinks the competition is this short form video content, and he's probably looking for like attention grabbing ways that like gaming and short form content can merge. I truly don't understand fully what he was saying in that interview, but there is more context, and he was talking about Xbox.
I will say there was a ton of people on Twitter after I like retweeted it. They were like, "Well, Cross, it's entertainment, it's your attention. They're competing against anything that could be grabbing your attention," and they're saying that TikTok is grabbing the attention, and so they're having to compete against that. Can I tell you my interpretation of it? It reminds me of when an MMA fighter goes to boxing. You know what I'm coming from? They done got their ass beat. And let me say, even the worst MMA fighter, you know what I'm coming from? They can still fucking fight. All right. But it's like suddenly, now they a boxer. You know what I'm coming from? All I'm trying to say is at one point, Microsoft was trying to compete at these different levels. Y'all remember Mixer?
Yeah.
Nailed.
You trying to, you mentioned you want to compete against TikTok. How you at one point you were trying to compete against Twitch. You pay out massive amounts of money for streamers to come to your platform to stream exclusively, and then 6 months later you close that shit down. You know what I mean? Like That's fun. And now, so what I'm getting from this is, hi, we're Microsoft. We done got our ass beat. Sony done whooped the shit out of us. Nintendo done whooped the shit out of us. But investors, don't worry. We're more than just games. And obviously they are. They got the Windows damn operating system, dude. But let me just say this. If it was just gaming, Microsoft would have went belly up a long time ago. They would have went belly up a long time ago. They got infinite money glitch with fucking Windows.
Yeah. And I will say, I think they're just seeing dollar signs. They don't give a shit about people's gaming experience or, what is even going on in the gaming industry as much as he does. He even talks about it in that same interview. The best way to innovate is to have profitability. And so he cares that overall, like we see that 29%, Xbox hardware is down 29%, and we think, oh shit, they're getting their ass beat. And that might be true in the hardware department, but that 29% down in hardware sales is mostly offset by its content growth. So like Xbox content, they have this category called content and services revenue. Whatever goes under there only grew by 1% last year, and hardware sales went down by 29%, or in a quarter, sorry. And it was mostly like the content growth, just by 1% growth offset all of the loss in hardware sales because their content sector is so much larger. So
what is that, Game Pass?
I don't know what goes under that umbrella for them, but overall, there was only a 2% decline in their gaming revenue, which is still a lot. They just, like you said, they have infinite money glitch. It's a $113 million decline in their overall revenue, even though Xbox sales are down massively. So, you know, they're looking at Microsoft Cloud up 26%, LinkedIn up 10%, and Azure, which is cloud and AI services, up 40%. So they've got a lot they see dollar signs going up, and one of those things is not Xbox hardware. But I don't really know how much they care, considering they've got all of this money elsewhere.
So I'm getting a comment here on Twitch. You guys are missing the point of his comment, though. It's 100% math. The time that people spend on social media, the super casual people that might buy a couple games a year, are instead spending time doom scrolling on TikTok.
I don't think that's wrong. I do think that part of this casual game AI like stuff is targeting a much faster attention span, like someone who's like not gonna, like your average MMO player has a much longer attention span. I think that would be pretty obvious. That you're sitting there for a long period of time grinding stuff out, whereas a lot more of your modern popular games are just like, it's the very quick. These mobile gaming, it's like that's all it is. I can barely open up a mobile game these days because of just how much stuff you're blasted with at once. It's so much. It's actually insane. And like Clash Royale is a game I used to play all the time as when I was growing up. I can barely stand to open that app anymore. It's just like every single thing is designed to have you constantly like paying attention, like 50 million things to click, 20 pop-ups for different, like the store is massive. It's just insane. And I do think that's where the money's at. I mean, what was it Microsoft and Xbox who talked about shooting for 30% profit margins? This is going back to our and they haven't hit that, but like this is going back to the conversation of just what makes more money. Like it may be the thing that's not the MMO that isn't competing in the space that is actually challenging and difficult, but it also doesn't seem to me that it's the space that's generating the most profit and looking at revenue.
Sure.
Look, saying like TikTok and it is their competition, or Instagram, or all of social media as a whole. All right, maybe the new generation coming up likes doom scrolling more than they like playing video games. But how come Sony's sales and Nintendo's numbers aren't reflecting that? Why is that? They obviously still like gaming, or the people that buy, and I like still playing Nintendo games. Why don't we just accept the fact that the roster of games Xbox has completely fucked over the past decade? That's what's happened. There's no reason to buy an Xbox. If I will buy a Nintendo to play the Zelda games, because it's the only place I can play a Zelda game.
I feel
but the Zelda games had to be good. That's the other thing. It's not that it's just exclusive. It has to be good too. All you had was Halo 2.
I think we're talking that. I think this is the same conversation. Like, I think we have the same opinion here. You're talking about what's led to them now pivoting. It's like, all right, they're fighting in this other arena. Well, this other arena is the boxing arena.
Yeah, I think you got your ass beat in MMA. You got your ass beat in MMA, and now you're like, I'm willing to just stand up now and put the gloves on. All right.
And it sounds way better to an investor or anyone else who's listening. Like, oh, we're competing with TikTok. It's like,
right. It's all it's corporate buzzwords at some point.
It's 100%. But like the point is that they got beat in the gaming market, like with your other big players like Sony, Nintendo, and all this. And now they're changing sides, and then they're just targeting stuff that's like,
dude,
higher profit margins.
Halo is going to PlayStation, brother. If I would have saw that 15 years ago, I would have went to war. You hear me? I would have went to fucking war. Me and the boys would have rolled up. We're going to fight for Halo. Hell no. But now we got damn memes being shared out of the girl embracing the PlayStation guy and Xbox sitting in the back. And she's like, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the shit that's happening. You're sitting your flagship game over there. That is the dead giveaway. They ain't got it no more, man.
I know we always say Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox are always competing, but I've always seen it as PlayStation versus Xbox. I've always seen it that way. I never see Nintendo is like there but it was always Xbox versus PlayStation.
Well, Nintendo's the number one selling consoles in the world.
Understandable, but it's because Nintendo has its own games. They're not competing. They're not competing in terms of the games they make.
Yeah.
When you talk about Xbox and PlayStation, they almost always have the same games. And Call of Duty, Battlefield, all these games would come out on those two consoles. They wouldn't come out on Nintendo. And Sony's beat that ass.
Well, they had exclusives
and Nintendo was trying to creep into very slowly, like Cyberpunk going onto Nintendo as well. Like that, so Nintendo was trying to grab some of those PlayStation, Xbox, like console gamers too. I think that'll take a long time and a better console for them to do that. But yeah, I think with Xbox and PlayStation, you're always going to have this split population of like, there are very few people that say, yeah, I own an Xbox and a PlayStation and I game on both. No, like everyone here can answer whether they're an Xbox or a PlayStation person. And so you're not just going to be able to be as dominant as Nintendo is when they're only competing with themselves.
Like Luke, I don't know if you played a lot of video games younger. You probably did because you're a gamer, but what was the conversation at school all the time? Xbox is better than PlayStation, or PlayStation is better than Xbox. Like that's how it's always been. So it's like,
yeah.
I think Microsoft's just trying to throw shit to the wall and seeing what the fuck sticks because they failed on every other thing in terms of competing with other people besides, Windows. That's about it, really.
Look, man, it's like
Microsoft said Windows is funding everything.
the way I looked at it was, you done got your ass beat in gaming, right? But then you jump up and you go, we're bigger than this. No. I see beyond this. We must look beyond the ass whooping across the horizon and see new competition. Because these motherfuckers in this space, they bad, man. They bad.
Bro, they think they're gonna compete with
Everything is an
TikTok. They are
Xbox.
sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
That's where Xbox went wrong. They were like, this isn't just a gaming console, it's an entertainment console. Blah, blah, blah,
but I don't think they're trying to, y'all, like that 29% looks bad, but it's overall $113 million is nothing to Microsoft. I don't think that they're fretting that Microsoft hardware or Xbox hardware sales are down. I don't think that they care that they get their ass beat in the gaming development category if they can just be the biggest publisher. And I think this general shift, I mean, someone in chat called it out, but games like Peak that have been kind of viral lately, they're low cost development games. They get viral attention. You see them on TikTok a lot. You see them in YouTube Shorts a lot, and they get people playing, and like they cost little to nothing to make compared to a Destiny. And so that, of course, someone like Microsoft,
I will burn this goddamn planet down.
Listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right.
TikTok fucking games and short fucking attention span bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't like that either. I'm just saying for them, all they see is these like this virality, these dollar signs, and that is how you overlap gaming and short form content. You make games that do really well in short form content, which is kind of sad. I don't want to see that shit. It's kind of, that's what pops off now.
Here's what I think they see.
Arc Raiders is that.
I think they see, I think Megabonk is more than that. I think they see the profitability. I
was going to say Megabonk. Nice.
I think they see the profitability of Megabonk, and they're like, we just need to make more Megabonks. Why commit? Absolutely. Why commit to these major projects with hundreds of millions of dollars when we can just go pay this one guy to make a fucking game? Guess what, though? That one guy that's worth a fuck, he gonna make his own shit. You know what I'm going from?
Sure.
Why would he go under Microsoft for that? Like, he could just make it his own. He's competent, like if he's really good at it.
And then
why am I going to share the money?
Megabonk stood out, but what's going to happen when we have 100 Megabonks? See, that's what happens. Everything starts to get overly saturated, and then things don't stay down. And then they're going to have to flip this to the other side. You know where I'm coming from? It's the same thing back in the 2000s, man. Everybody was making an MMORPG because everybody was trying to recreate World of Warcraft. Everyone was trying to recreate World, and so MMORPGs were popping up all over the place, and most of them failed. Which you don't see that many today outside of New World try to do it.
Mark my words, we are going to get an influx of turn-based games in the next 5 years.
Because of Expedition 33?
Expedition 33 and Baldur's Gate 3. Two of insanely great selling games. I would not be surprised if these studios try making a turn-based game and in the next 5-6 years. Like, I'm calling it now. We're probably going to get an influx. It's the same thing with extraction shooters. It's the same thing, like you said, with MMORPGs. Maybe. It was the same thing with arena shooters back in the day. Like, what we like as gamers is something different, something we have not seen, or something that's been so long that we haven't played. Like, it's been forever. Like, Megabonk is a game you could see yourself playing 10 years ago. maybe less graphics and stuff, but like it's one of those things that it brought back like a nostalgic kick to some people. Like this is something I would play a long time ago. I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna game it. So now I'm like, we just want new ideas. We don't want the same shit because we will get bored, and that's what's been happening.
Well, I'm sure that there's going to be an AI that observes all of us, and it's gonna spit out what is the most addicting, casually approachable video game. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe Microsoft is going to leverage Windows for that kind of shit. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Well, yeah, a game that has entered into the existing space that has been very fun to play and brought a lot of new ideas into a saturated market is Arc Raiders. And I think everyone here, I mean,
pretty
most
good,
of
man.
us here have been
pretty good
playing the crap out.
I want Liv's take on it now that it's fully out, because Liv wasn't the biggest fan of it.
I've been playing a lot.
Arc Raiders
I want to comment.
$40.
Yes.
Oh, that's the question. That's the question.
I want to. I mean, it has a ton of content, y'all. Like 4 maps at launch, 5th coming very soon, I believe.
Yes.
Day-night cycles, events. Like, I mean, in terms of just pure content, you can get $40 worth out of the game very easily. I think the fundamental questions are: do you like third-person shooters? Do you like extraction shooters? Like that determines whether or not you continue to play the game. But can you get $40 out of it? Absolutely. Like, I definitely think it's worth that. Before we discuss our takes on it, though, I just want to start with like objectively how the game is doing. These are Steam numbers. All-time peak was 4 minutes ago, so it's still rising right now. But so on launch day, the peak was 265K. And then yesterday, the peak was 253K, so about the same. And then now it's a weekend, so people are playing, but the numbers have gone up. That's all of today, and every single time I refresh the page, they just keep going up and up and up. So we're at 325,000 players right now, which is its all-time peak. And that is 10,000 higher than the Final Shapes peak, just for like, I mean, not that we're comparing Destiny to Arc Raiders, but I'm just saying like we are familiar with that size player count, just like as Destiny players. And the last time we saw that wasn't even, like, it was a very long time ago. Very long time ago. So Arc Raiders is at 325K right now, which is great. That is crazy. I wasn't expecting that when I refreshed the page. When we started the podcast, it was at like 310K. So it just keeps going up. Yeah, I mean, that's how the game's doing. There's a fuck ton of people playing the game. You know, obviously I want to hear y'all's take too. We know how Luke feels about it. Luke's felt the same way about it since
I've felt this way for a very long time, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy this game has been even more than I ever expected it to be.
Can I just say, the game visually is stunning. Those maps, Blue Gate, gorgeous map. Like those feels like that, you could just see past, like really fun.
If Embark ever made like an RPG, I would fuck with it.
I would play it, yeah.
I really would. Yeah.
So some context here from like, I have one of my friends who hopped into the game for the first time, and he hadn't heard anything, like he hadn't like watched any coverage of Arc Raiders. He like he just essentially heard people saying this game's really good, and that he was hopping into it for the first time and to try it out. So the first thing he sends to me, like as soon as he hops in, is, bro, the graphics and sound design and UI are all incredible. And I think we were talking about like, do you like an extraction shooter, like that being one of the big questions. I don't actually think that's as an important question when you consider all of the other things Arc Raiders is doing that is keeping people interested in the game, which is, their sound design is out of the freaking park. The UI is good. The game isn't too complicated to understand. Like there's a lot of like little like tips and like things that you got to pay attention to that will seriously help you out. But conceptually, it's very easy. You hop in, you squad up your teams, you get into a game, you choose a map, and you just play. And the enemies are very challenging. It's funny to see a lot of people talking about when they go in solos that they're just friendly with everybody. Like a lot of lobbies are just friendly and they're not fighting. And
dude, I had a guy
team up against Arc.
I had a guy yesterday. He did a night raid. He lost all of his shit, and then some guy was trying to kill him, and I killed the guy. He's like, "You saved my life." And he's like, "I'm just trying to extract. I got a free loadout. Please don't kill me." I'm like, "All right, I'll follow you to where you need to go, so no one kills you." And it's like, it's just hilarious, man. And then people like saying, "I'm friendly," and then they're shooting at you, and it's like, whoa, like it's the interactions in the game is what makes the game.
We ran around this morning with my mic completely open, and I was like, I have free loadout. I have shit items. Don't kill me, please. Here for quests. And no one attacked us. No one attacked.
I know we're on the arc raiders.
It's a very friendly game for the most part. I'd say that you can. A lot of people are adopting pacifism. Like I can't say that. Like Luke's friends, I have a friend example too. I asked him to type up like, what was your thought on the game? Having not seen any content before, doesn't have a Twitch account, like doesn't watch YouTube content, just true perception of the game. And he said positives that a lot of Luke's friend did too, but also said that he mostly saw it as like a PvE game because everyone was so friendly. It was really easy to not get shot. And he said, like, just on that topic, and I do think that people don't really attack you if you ask them not to. At least right now, with this big of a player count, I think, it'll probably get sweatier over time.
Trios is sweatier for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He said, I played solo, successfully extracted probably 95% of the time. I had a lot of fun, but I don't treat this as a PvP game. I'm ready for PvP when it does show up. I have other games for that though, like he plays the finals a lot, by the way. He said, I don't really like slow, methodical PvP play, hence why I'm not treating it this way. It's a glorified progression and crafting game for me, which I find very fun and relaxing and casual. Probably a completely different vibe than the game that Trios could play here, but yeah, he's just seeing it as like a PvE focus where if someone comes up and wants to attack me, I'll shoot them, sure. But like he was kind of saying he was going through whole runs, like even night raids where the PvE enemies were a significant, consistent threat to him, and PvP was sort of just optional.
Sure. For solo, they are. Yes. I mean, like you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, Arc are dangerous as a solo player because it's a bitch to take them down. Even with a team. So
you're one snitch away from like 3 drones swarming you at the same time, and then you're in some real heat. But I think that I think it deserves clarification. There are very sweaty parts of Arc Raiders, specifically if there's an event going on and you want to interact with it, like the loot, the launch tower loot event. That one can get really hectic. Blue Gate is generally pretty sweaty because it's the highest difficulty map, and there's a lot of more higher end players there. Buried City, depending on when you go there, it can be very sweaty because there's a lot of condensed people in the same spot. So you just you just get so much PvP.
So many people fucking kill each other.
I think Blue Gate's probably so difficult because there's no cover. Well, there's very little cover.
There's just so much arc too. There's so much
arc everywhere, and there's like one house here and then like another house far as heck. Like there's really
so many Rocketeers.
Oh, covers, yeah.
Which are very overturned.
So I think Embark has done a good job of creating a game where you can experience both.
Everything.
Where it's like, if you target the really high end stuff, you can get that high end PvP experience. But you can hop into a solo lobby in damn battlegrounds and a lot of times not get bothered too much and actually make friends or team up or whatever you want to do. So I think that's really cool because I think a big complaint that you hear from Tarkov players who are invested in the PvP side of it is when they made that PvE only mode that it was just extraordinarily sweaty all the time in PvP. Very, very, very sweaty experience. On top of Tarkov already being just a very complicated game to learn in the first place.
Yeah. And we have a roadmap. Map this month, map next month, and new arc enemies are coming too. So
it's crazy.
That's very typical of the new game. But yes, it's a good strong start.
A new map this month.
Yeah.
We have 5 already.
They're reminding me.
So I think the new map is Stella Montes in November.
Yeah.
That's the new map.
That was already planned.
Yeah,
and then there's one in December as well, though, right?
December should just be the flaming, the flickering flames event they're going to add. They're also going to add a snow variant to into
it's a snow variant thing. Okay, gotcha.
So there's not a new map scheduled for this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get new maps very soon, like into the future. But it's more event stuff and weapons.
They're reminding me of Arrowhead, by the way. You remember Arrowhead when Helldivers rolled out? We were like, it's a good game. And then all of a sudden Arrowhead was like, oh, we got a lot more. You know what I mean? And they just they were just cooking, dude. Just, you know what I mean? They were throwing out shit to us left and right. And so Embark, I mean, we heard their TwitchCon panel. These guys, they know what the fuck they're doing. Like, you know what I mean? They got a very good grasp on what it is they're trying to deliver, who they're trying to deliver it to, and they're hoping that it's going to land. But I love that they commit to their own vision. I think it's very important that sometimes you just have to commit to your own vision. If you're a creative person or persons and you feel like this is going to hit, well, sometimes you just got to go with it. You got to go with your gut on that. And that's luckily they've got a studio that's allowing them to go with their gut on that. Even when they did pivot from a looter shooter to an extraction shooter, which honestly I think was a wise choice. And I'm just coming from someone that loves looter shooters. But I don't know if I would have just, I don't know how invested I would have been in the game for just the looter shooters, just for the PvE. The PvE is fun and challenging, but there's just so many elements to having to make a PvE game continue to scale for like a hardcore player base. Even if it's like, the only thing I can think of is like if they would have took like maybe a Helldiver approach. But I think the route that they went was a good one. And
this was the right route.
And they got it before Marathon. Marathon, remember, its big thing was trying to deliver an extraction shooter to consoles and PC. And they did that. And I don't know, Hunt Showdown's on both, right? But they're kind of a different type of extraction shooter. Delta's not on both, right? I don't think
Delta Force.
Yeah. Is that just on Steam?
I'm pretty sure that's on all three.
Didn't it come out on PC first, then drop console later on? Could have been that scenario. I'm not too sure.
I'm being told Delta is so. Okay. But the Delta
definitely was PC first.
Enemy AI in Delta is nowhere near like the enemy AI is in Arc Raiders. And then not just that, it just feels different. It's a different feeling game. You can kind of look at some of the other extraction shooters outside maybe Hunt, but you can see like the similarities between them. But Arc Raiders is a much different experience. I think Marathon's going to be a much different experience too, being sci-fi. But man, they got a lot of competition. But yeah.
I'm curious what Embark's next game is going to be, because they made an arena shooter, now they made an extraction. I'm wondering what the next route they go in. Like they might really just make a looter shooter though.
I don't know, but they say they see 10 years out of Arc Raiders. So
but they always have like side projects they're working on and stuff like this, right? Like it's just their one pride and joy. Like they're not.
I mean,
did they? Else.
They still running the finals.
When they released the finals, though, did they say like, "Oh, the finals is a 10-year game for us. We have this." Like, I don't know what their approaches were.
Yeah.
So maybe they have a different approach or a longer term approach for Arc Raiders in general.
Well, they're running essentially two live games at once. You know what I mean? And so
they're going to be running more games as well. So in an interview with the CEO, Embark has already got 2 other games that they're like planning on, like that they're working on as well, like that are going to be.
And they got 2 more games in the pipeline.
Yeah. There's 2 more projects being worked on. So,
oh shit.
Not only that, like it's so their development. I don't know how. I mean, they have cooked up these 2 at the very least very fun games. I think we can, like a lot of people can agree, Finals and Arc Raiders are both very fun games, but somewhat successful too. Arc Raiders is blowing up right now. We'll see how that matches long term. If it lasts 10 years, like it might. But they are very, very aggressive as far as, all right, we're like already moving on to like the next thing, and
sure, they're
doing a good job. And I want to go back to Vision Cross, what you mentioned about earlier, because something that also came out recently was how when they were in an interview with PC Games, they talked about how microtransactions are not going to be doing different collabs and things that don't feel out of universe. Like it's going to be very strictly locked into everything is going to belong in this world. We're not going to bring in like a Santa Claus or a T-Rex or anything random.
They're not going to go that Fortnite route where...
Exactly. It's going
to be... The Call of Duty route.
Oh, Call of Duty's gotten they gotten pretty wild.
Call of Duty has like Snoop Dogg, Nicki Minaj.
Oh, yeah, you could be Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty, right?
You can literally play like
a lot of people.
That's something
it's wild, man.
So, yeah, all these games are like... Destiny's doing the Star Wars stuff, and like yes, it's like kind of like close sci-fi.
I think that's more in line. Yeah, but Destiny's had things like BG3, D&D. You know where I'm coming from, which I think I've been, I'm not necessarily against. But I don't think Destiny's the most egregious one when it comes to having like the most off the wall ones. But yeah, being Nicki Minaj and a shooter. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'd say Fortnite gets away with it because it's
physics properly. Come on.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Fortnite gets away with it because their game is kind of designed around this whole like idea of collabing with everything. Yeah. But COD is an example where it's like, dude, why the heck does this even exist in this game? And Arc Raiders, I'm very happy that they've had this vision. There's some areas where they want to look at what players are saying, but also like we're looking at what the intent is behind that. But we're going to mix that with what we want to make for this game. And they're sticking with it in microtransactions where they could technically make a lot of money if they did a bunch of collabs, but they're not muddying the waters. Arc Raiders,
I like the simplicity of the gear.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like the simplicity of the gear. Like when the cosmetic stuff, Like you got like a fighter jacket and like a fighter helmet. Like that's cool to me. I dropped money for it.
Oh yeah, I got the deluxe edition, so I just got my astronaut uniform that I rocked in the tech test.
Just rocking that, man.
Yeah, I was happy. I was like, I'm good. That's all I need. So
it's a good game, man. Happy for that company and its success it's having.
For sure.
That they definitely deserve. It seems like they've got a lot of like talented folks over there.
Yeah, they make.
How big is their studio, by the way? Do we have like a number on how big their studio is?
I want to say it's 200 to 300. I mean,
and they're making 4 games. Holy
No, it's 356 is their studio size.
That's insane, though. And you said they got 2 more projects.
It is every month it's growing. Like when they do these new projects, because I think a year ago they were at like, I don't know, 200 something. Now they're at 360. So it like they're constantly hiring and growing over time.
So
but yes,
one thing,
small studio.
One thing that does contribute to them to taking on these different projects.
Good studio actually, but you go ahead.
One of the things that contributes to them doing these different projects is the developers, at least in the case of Arc Raiders, the finals, are able to hop from game to game. So Virgil talks about how like the finals, once that was pushed out, like some developers then moved from the finals, like, all right, you're going to now help us out with Arc Raiders.
What's the engines?
And so, the engines being like, that's totally a huge factor.
What's the engine for both games? Is it Unreal?
It should be, I believe it's Unreal for both, which is another thing. Like normally I don't like that Unreal look, and Arc Raiders, like Embark, has done a good job of like making it look like its own thing, which I mean, examples, I don't think Halo's gone far enough in that route. That's just my take, but
Arc Raiders is not Unreal?
Yeah, they do. They have consulting companies as well. So it's not like it's just those 356 or just those developers that are hopping, but they've got third party help. They also just have very little technical debt. Like these games, the finals is a few years old. This game's brand new, and there's less time with turnover and less time with like, okay, there's something in the game that's 10 years old that's fucking up this thing that we're trying to build now. And like, that's not an excuse for any game, but it is a fresh studio, a rapidly growing studio with third party consultation, help. And so, yeah, I mean, they're doing a really good job with Unreal. I agree, Luke. It doesn't have that typical Unreal Engine look.
Okay. I mean, Total Arc Raiders is on Unreal Engine 5 and Finals is on Unreal as well. So
that's what I'm saying as well.
I will say this: Destiny is just such a massive game. You have so many fucking items in that game. I mean, you know what I'm coming from? Just having that's why extractions. When you think about it, there's not too many items. You're gonna go through the expedition system, so you're essentially gonna prestige and regrind the same shit. You know what I mean? It's a self-contained loop. You're not having to rethink the wheel as much. So I'm not giving excuses for Bungie, but I think they've had to rethink the wheel too much, and it's just not a. It's a difficult model to perfect, and
that's why you don't see many of them. It's very difficult to just. You can't rethink the wheel every single time that you release something. It's just unsustainable.
That's why you have sequels, though. So that's why I don't understand Bungie. If you're out of ideas, like for Destiny 2, then take the Borderland approach and make a sequel. You know what I mean?
How do you think that works how do you think that works for Borderlands though? Because you get to this point in Borderlands where they're like, okay, here's your sequel. Now go play the shit out of it. But like our end game will just come at some time later, and we'll add stuff to the game at a later point whenever we do. And you get to I think that there's a very distinct stopping point in Borderlands where I was like, I love that game. That was very fun to play through. I just don't have any desire to get back on it because, well, like. I'm an ultimate vault hunter. I did all the vaults. There's no end game yet, so I'm done.
Whatever's going on in Gearbox, they're happy with the balance that they've struck, and it works with their community. Their community seems. I don't know what their community is like right now, but at least from what I've seen, they seem happy enough. And so I mean, I think that for them, they're not necessarily trying to like jam pack a bunch of content after release, and I say this. Let's make this. Would you rather have 100,000 concurrent players all the time, year round, but only 100,000 people bought the game, or would you prefer 1 million players with 5,000 concurrents?
So
is the game is the game a one-time purchase?
Yeah, it's a one-time purchase. One-time purchase. But maybe you have some store stuff. Maybe you have some store stuff. Maybe you have some microtransactions. Sure. Would you rather 1 million players who bought your game full price, or 100,000 who bought your game full price, and maybe let's be generous, maybe 50% of them spends an extra $60.
Yeah.
I mean, just do the math. Do the math. So like,
for sure, yeah.
I don't really understand what the big hang up. Look, if you're gonna bang big and bang at one time, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to have a big just bomb just go off and have your huge peak numbers. I don't get too hung up on the whole concurrent numbers. Obviously, it's nice to have people to play with in an MMO. I get that. So you definitely want to have people to play with. But man, hit the big splash. Give me the million.
Sure. I will say again, loved Borderlands, but their player count went from over 300,000 at launch and held on to like very, very strong numbers for those first couple weeks, and now they peak at around sometimes under 20K a day. So
I'm gonna be honest though, I think that Gearbox is very aware of this, and they're
absolutely.
I think they're fine with it. I think that's just their rollout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And people will come back. Like, I'll go back when more content's added. So yeah, I'm sure they're fine with that. But I think there needs to be balance, right? Like, Bungie can have, if a ton of people buy the game, I guess that's all that matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, to a company is like, how many people bought this? Even if they only play for the first 2 weeks and then it's, they're done with it. But you do have to also have people to play with. I think there needs to be balance struck between those two metrics. So I'd probably prefer somewhere in between the two options you gave.
Yeah, I think it's a very game basis, like how much microtransactions are being bought. Like, are you able to how much content are you adding to the game over time? Like,
the metric that Bungie wants to show Sony is definitely concurrent. That's an incredibly metric, because then they're supposed to be the experts in live service, and so that's the metric they want to show. I'm just saying, just for me personally, for instance, Monster Hunter Wilds, a fuck ton of people play that game. What's their concurrent player base at right now?
I can look real quick.
Monster Hunter Wild, 20,000 players currently.
20,000 right now.
All
but
right.
45K 24-hour peak.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So 45K 24-hour peak. Now, some people may look at that and go, that game, oh, wow, it had a almost 2 million player all-time peak on Steam, and now it's at 20,000 players. People will literally look at that and go, what a fucking fail game, lol. Brother, 1.2 million peak on just Steam alone. They made fucking bank.
Yeah.
I'd take that shit all day long.
For sure, absolutely.
No, I don't know.
You don't have to worry about the concurrent. You make it once, you make it bang once, and then
obviously it'd be great to have the best of both worlds. But I just think right now
you can't consistently have that high numbers like for a game like that. Like,
it does
get boring. It does get boring. The Counter-Strike is there, yeah, but that's just because there's always, especially with the whole new CSGO 2.
All the fucking money involved. I didn't realize that's why people be playing that shit.
Yeah.
I thought they played it, and maybe it's a fun game, but hell, I didn't know you can get damn $10, $15, $25,000 for a damn knife. You know what I mean? Knife skin. But anyways,
some sticker skins go for 20K. A sticker you put on a gun and sell for 20K.
I know. That's crazy.
That shit is wild.
I'd be playing that if that was the case, man. I don't blame people for playing that shit every day, man. I'd be having 3-4 accounts, man. I'd be fucking hands everywhere. We'd be playing multiple games. But yeah, no, what I'm saying for Bungie is I would much rather, and this is coming from a content creator's perspective, who and I know content creators we like to have, I guess, consistency and content rollout. But if you could give me Forsaken every 2-3 years, I'd wait for that shit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You give me a banging expansion like that, I'll give you 2 years. Do your thing.
Honestly, and charge 60 for it if you want.
And charge 60.
And charge 60 for it.
I'd make the argument we already did that with the Final Shape, because that thing got delayed. And granted, it wasn't like 2 full years, but
no, it was a year and
like 6 months.
Year and 3 months.
It's close. It's close.
Are we?
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in February.
It was supposed to be February, and it came out in June. For May.
Mm-hmm.
June? Yeah, it was early June. June. So yeah, I'd make the argument that Bungie we were like, okay, Final Shape is delayed, but this looks incredible, and we had a great time, and we paid full price.
I mean, they did Lightfall because of Final Shape delay, right? Like, wasn't Lightfall Final Shape delay filler? Which arguably really was a turning point for the game and player trust.
That's true.
It was supposed to be one, is what it was.
But like,
Lightfall was supposed to be with Final Shape.
Final Shape was delayed and did bang. Final Shape was delayed. It did bang. I think it was the right decision to delay it. However, because Destiny players have this expectation of continue to feed us content at all times, we weren't just going to have a year with no expansion. So we got Lightfall. And I really think that was a turning point in player sentiment and player trust toward Bungie. And not that it was perfect before, but Lightfall was not perceived well at all.
Players or Bungie couldn't afford to have a year of no revenue in. That's the question.
Well, that and just It's the concern of the player leaving. That's it. Well,
yes,
they're very concerned about players no longer being embedded in Destiny and going elsewhere. And
because if you get the Witch Queen and you have all this build up toward the Witness, and then you don't have some you kind of forget about him. If you don't have anything for over a year, you're like, yeah, one day we'll fight the Witness. But it kind of would have slapped harder if I had some big bad that I was still fighting that got me to the Witness. And so, of course, Light the Veil was that. They were like, we can throw the Veil at them. Do we know what that is to this day? Really well? Not really. It wasn't done well. I think that was the general perception. But I think that was what they were trying to do. Yes, Bungie wanted to make money. Of course, they want to make money with an expansion every year. But I think if you let players linger for too long, that is the end of their 10-year saga, the Light and Darkness saga. You can't just be like, yeah, there was Witch Queen. That was great. By the way, we have to delay you fighting the Witness for a while. So just hang in there. One day you'll fight him. I don't know that would have gone over super well for the player base either.
I would make the argument that the delay in fighting the Witness wasn't the reason why. That wasn't why Lightfall got poor reception. But it got poor reception just because the story kind of sucked.
No, I'm not saying that's why it got poor reception. Yeah. I'm saying if Lightfall didn't exist, there would have been this delay in fighting the Witness with no content in between at all. And I think having Strand and just the stuff that came with Lightfall kept people around.
But we got Into Light, and Into Light was really good.
Really good.
I think
yeah, true.
I think you can have content that's good that fills the gap. But I think Lightfall just didn't hit.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because we were
as simple as that.
But because it was it was filler. It was rushed. It was filler. I don't think it was done well. I don't think that there was any world in which that would have been well received because it wasn't supposed to exist as a standalone expansion. It was supposed to be the Final Shape.
I think what hyped up Lightfall as much as it did is when we got that 3-year roadmap. Or not roadmap, but when we were showed Beyond Light, Witch Queen, Lightfall, they talked about Lightfall being the end all be all. And then later on is when they said the Final Shape. I don't think they put enough emphasis on the Final Shape as when they did with Lightfall in that stream.
It's clear it could have been consolidated and been one expansion. But hold on.
Yes, if it was one expansion, that would have been insane.
Lightfall could have been it had a lot of great things that year, and it could have been a good expansion. If Nezarec would have been the focus, if we would have had this entire, because we had all this build up where we made the Nezarec tea and all that other stuff. Nezarec was literally terrorizing Neomuna. It could have been a much better campaign if that would have been more of the focus. Imagine this. Imagine Rohan, instead of him dying, holding up whatever bullshit he was holding up. Imagine if the man would have got decapitated by Nezarec or fucking impaled, right? And Nezarec, he's really a nightmare. You know where I'm coming from? And you fucking, oh shit, Nimbus grabs. He's like, we gotta get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? And so that right there would have set the tone. That's and the raid, if the raid was better too. But everything else, I could get behind for Lightfall. The story just wasn't. Nezarec was an afterthought. It's his head just happened to be on the fucking pyramid ship with the Witness, and that happens to get blasted by the Traveler, which made him come back to life, and then we instantly kill him.
Well, not necessarily that extent. It was us doing the encounters revived him.
I think
is what it was apparently is what it is.
Is that what it is?
It struck into him, and then as we progressed through the raid, all the things, it kind of he makes his body some shit like that. For sure.
Yeah, Cross. I agree with you. I actually do agree with you. I think I agree with everyone here. We're saying a lot of the same thing, just from different angles. The content that we got with Lightfall was overall really good, and it kept people around and excited about the final shape, but it wasn't well perceived when it came out. And I think that's because the narrative does matter a lot in Destiny, and like having that filler, weird strand training campaign didn't go over well with a lot of people. And like, that is why the final shape peak player base kind of matched Lightfall's peak player base. I think it would have been higher if Lightfall went well narrative wise. And so a lot higher. I think that you can't leave people with more questions after a campaign than they had before it. And imagine if Edge of Fate didn't have a good narrative. Like, imagine if Edge of Fate's campaign was bad. Y'all, imagine that was like its saving grace. Imagine if the narrative was bad. Like, the narrative matters a lot to the players, even if the rest of the year is good. Well, that's it. Yeah, sure. But we're pairing those two. Like, we're saying focus more on Nezarec, and Lightfall would have been better. I think if the campaign's good, the raid's good.
The fact that pyramids didn't contain disciples.
That was the biggest
and then the witness had consumed every single one of its factions to become one. Like, I'm like, brother,
just make a pyramid ship a little bit bigger than the rest of the pyramid ship, and that's the disciples. And then we got to go into each one of these pyramid ships to fuck up these disciples. You know what I'm coming from?
I was looking forward to that.
We got Roke, and we were like, if we were going to get more of that, I was like, right, baby.
And I was like, okay, we're dealing with the Akatsuki, right?
That's exactly.
Okay, all right. Who? Did we just do it, Roke? Is that Pain? All right, but I'm still down to who else are we dealing with? You know what I mean? And that's what I was really hoping to roll out. Bungie, watch some fucking anime. Just make it anime, dude.
Dude, if we'd fought if we had similar bosses to Roke.
Oh
God, man,
it would be so good.
This is what we got off topic on this part, but should Bungie take more than a year to make certain expansions?
I am fine with that.
Delays are not I don't think delays are a problem as long as the stuff is good. That's the thing. If Lightfall and Final Shape had been one expansion, and Bungie had told us after Witch Queen saying, "Hey guys, we don't want to give you a part 1, part 2 to the Witness story or the Witness expansion. We need more time. We're delaying it an extra year, but hold on tight. We're going to give you a complete conclusion to the story." Because that was the point. That's what we wanted with Lightfall, was kind of like a semi-conclusion, but it wasn't. It was exactly where we were before Witch Queen with Stram House. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. Nothing major really happened. Yeah, Nimbus, or what was the guy's name? Rohan died. But in terms of major stuff that happened, it didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It felt like nothing changed in the world. Is that just me, or am I
No,
crazy?
no, you're 100% right.
No, I agree.
The last
story, nothing changed. Nothing happened. There was no consequence, no nothing.
I was just more angry at our ghost. I was like, I hate this guy. I would have shot him. I would have taken him out.
Exactly, you shoot the guy.
No more veil connection, no more problem.
I think the Final Shape send-off, though, was one of the best send-offs we could have ever gotten. That ending cutscene
should have ended.
Was so good. And look, I'm not entirely against Edge of Fate. I think we're in this transition phase, and I think Sony is probably assessing with Bungie what the investments going forward is going to look like. And we're in this fucked up trial period where they're like, we can make timelines work. We can deliver content every 6 months. They're going to be these mini-sized expansions, which reality is just this. You get content like Edge of Fate, which are dense enough at the very beginning, but then you get content like Ash and Iron, which is hardly anything, And what they're really hoping to bridge the gap is these events, Arms Week and whatever else, and it's just not grabbing. But that's because people, supposedly didn't want seasonal content anymore. So good shit, guys.
We're not doing this.
We're
not doing this.
We're not doing it again.
I love this reality. Thank you so much.
We were in slavery.
But who said they didn't want? No one said that they didn't want seasonal content.
Guys, can we not do this now? Can we not do this now? We've already done it once.
I think that seasonal content is mandatory. I think you need a story. I think you need a story in between campaigns. You can't just be like, look, we all thought that. Well, he dragged us back in. I'm agreeing with him though. I'm not disagreeing. There's no argument to be made. The seasonal story is required. He's waiting. I know he's building up his response in his head right now, but the seasonal story is required. And I think that after like a lot of people rated the narrative like a 10 out of 10 for Edge of Fate, and Allison's very likable, and I think they're really good at doing narrative stuff. So they should be leaning into that. We should be logging in and having some sort of a story to look forward to at some cadence. I just don't think what we were arguing about last time is the way that it's delivered to us. That's all.
I'm not gonna lie. I think a 9 story as like a campaign for a new game would have been fantastic. Just have it all in one game, one new game. The whole 9. Because how long are they gonna drag this out? We know
2 years. This is the prophecy saga. It's the next 2 years.
So when will we be done with this whole 9 story? Is it gonna be this year? 2 years? Okay, should imagine just all that in one story, a new game, and then
well, because we've got Shadow and Order major update in 2026, Shattered Cycle in summer 2026, Shattered Cycle major updates at fall 2026, and then Alchemist winter 2026. Yeah. So we do, in that sense, they did give us a roadmap, and they gave it to us a long time ago. We know these major updates are coming. We just don't have specific dates
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't put much stock in anything past Renegades. I just keeping it.
We're going back to this topic again. Like it's just.
No, I was just reading. I was just you're right. Saying
like, this is. I'm just saying, like, would have been better just to make a D3 and have the whole 2-year cycle story be the one story. You know.
Of course, the D3 would be great. We don't have one. We're certainly not gonna have one next year.
Why did they do it then? It's the writings on the fucking wall.
We said we weren't even going to talk about Destiny today.
I know,
here
right?
We are.
Okay, next topic. Come on.
No, I think we're good. I think we're done, right?
Seasonal story, you know, they're all like,
Was that everything this week? I thought we had more.
Yeah, if you want to keep going, we can.
What was the other thing?
We've got another one.
Bullet points.
Nintendo L.
They lost. That's right, Nintendo.
Wait, no,
Palworld's better.
Stop spitting out random. Let's be objective here. So
put that in the headline.
A huge. I know Nintendo lost. Just make that the title. No. So the Japanese Patent Office. The judges in these cases, obviously, they don't care about the specifics of the patent. It's legal to them. Like it's, that's what the court ruling is. So Nintendo filed these patents. Like I want to be clear, it's not a copyright infringement. We're not talking about appearance of pals or anything. That's not what the lawsuit's about. It's about patent issues. So so Nintendo submits to the Japanese Patent Office saying the way this is an infringement of the way that like we capture our animals in our game, and the Patent Office rejected.
Imagine
that.
Can you imagine a judge having to go over that? They're like, wait a minute now. So you got these here. If it was a Louisiana judge, they'd be like, you got this here Pokemon,
got this there.
And then you take a ball and you throw it at that Pokemon, and then that Pokemon it goes inside that ball.
That thing goes in there,
and they got a ball too. Well, who owns the rights to these balls? They just balls, right?
Everybody got balls.
I don't know how the Japanese are looking at it, but that's who the fuck.
In Louisiana, this would be settled very quickly. Everybody got balls. It's fine. Just do your thing. But it's very, very bad news for them because it also questions, or the validity of the patent entirely is questioned. And I don't know all the legal jargon, but I watched a video like breaking down the lawsuit in detail, and it's a sub patent. Like what they were specifically trying to raise to the Japanese Patent Office is part of it's a parent patent that is also going to have its validity questioned now, because that patent is like it's active in Japan. But this kind of just raises the question of like, how valid are all of these patents that Nintendo throws out around Pokemon in general?
This hasn't ruined like the overall like lawsuit as a whole. It's not tanked, but it is a major shot at Nintendo.
It's probably going to go poorly for Nintendo. Is the general, like, based on some of the legal breakdown of this case, it's a very bad like time to be Nintendo in this lawsuit. I don't know how much further they'll pursue. It's probably in their best interest to reach an amicable resolution with Palworld Studio, but I don't think they will. I just they go after anyone. Y'all know that. Like, they won a case this week, which is absolutely nothing for them. They won a $17,000 case against a streamer. And so $17,000 is literally nothing to them.
What? Like, what did the streamer do?
Pennies. So the streamer was streaming leaked unreleased Nintendo games. And He streamed under the name. I don't know.
How do you get these games?
I don't know the details. But then he actually took it further. When Nintendo pursued him for damages, he could have settled. He actually sent Nintendo emails saying, "I run these streets. I could have 1,000 burner channels, and I could do this all day."
I run these streets.
Question. Do you think he sold these pirated games to like other people? Like people
I'm sure that was on the table for him.
He made more than 17K though.
He has some balls. That's all I'm saying. That is crazy. Like,
imagine being the Nintendo like person translating or receiving that or whatever.
Yeah. I run these streets.
He runs the streets. We don't know what that means, but.
Well, I mean, he was just saying like, "Fuck you, Nintendo, try me," you know. And then the judge, of course, is like, "Well, dude, I mean, theft is one thing. Sending these emails to them is another. Like, come on, like, just pay up." But yeah, it was 17,000.
They need to focus on making good games. That's what they got to do. Not that Pokemon Legends shit.
Well, no, we're not getting started.
I don't know how anyone like has that such like brash approach. I mean, Nintendo, even with like dealing with modding, like the early release for Zelda that got leaked out, all of it is just like they've been very, very like legally like minded, just very strict and dangerous to get involved with. I don't know why anyone would say, yeah, take it on full force, but
yeah.
That sounds like their fault, but yeah, Nintendo is pretty harsh in the legal department. I'm happy for Palworld. I'm happy that they're seeing some pushback.
I will say, like, the judge in that streamer case said that Nintendo was unclear and unreasonable in requesting that this person destroys all circumvention devices that they use to like stream this pirated, leaked game. So yes, he has to pay up to Nintendo, but
devices,
judges
so like
there's this theme.
You need to
Nintendo,
take your computer into the back and
shoot it.
Hit it with a baseball bat.
Yeah, so that was Nintendo's request. It was part of the suit, and so final judgment is $17,500. But judge denied the destroy all of your devices request from Nintendo. So now I think Nintendo just puts everything on the table and sees what sticks. Honestly, they're like,
that's
yeah,
usually what happens in some of this.
Yeah.
So them.
Overall, Palworld W, massive Palworld W, because I know Nintendo is going to have a problem with their farming simulator that's coming out in conjunction with Nintendo's, and I don't know if these lawsuits are going to stick.
I hope.
I would argue it's an even bigger W, not just for Palworld, but for the gaming space as a whole. When you're talking about a mechanic like patenting throwing at a ball and catching a creature, like
fuck no. Nobody better. I don't want to see more Palworld clones after this point. If I see another one of those, now that's some bullshit. I hope Palworld sues them.
No, that's not. Well, what I'm getting at is that
you damn right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This patenting of established gameplay mechanics, I don't think is healthy. Like always being like fearful of innovating on mechanics because you're worried that another company who's made something similar before is going to come after you. Like, I don't think that's.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I love Palworld.
Let me be clear.
But they stole that shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fucking way around. They fucking stole that shit. Now, I
do not have cross-represent Palworld in
Pokemon, and I like fucking all the stuff that is happening in Palworld. But that shit was,
Your Honor, my clients got great
vibes. That homework
stole the heck out of all of that.
10 out of 10 vibes, but there was some theft going on, Your Honor. Yeah.
Just let us slide off easy. We'll be good.
You should play it too. Yeah. So I think that wraps up everything we got for this week.
That is everything. We don't have anything. Oh, New World's getting. Oh, we covered that, I guess. Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, it's kind of wrapped up and everything else.
I think we've covered it.
Are y'all gonna play New World? Are y'all gonna play New World before it gets shut down?
So yeah. So I actually, it's crazy. 2 days before they announced the shutdown, I was talking to Bombad, and Bombad was like, "Yeah, come play. Like, come join my server. I think you'd like it." And so then when the news came out, I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, Bombad, were you surprised by this? And Bombad's like, "Yeah, 2 weeks after." This is what he said. 2 weeks after the best expansion, best the game's ever been, in my opinion. Constant upward trend for the last year. Everyone's happy, both PvP and PvE. It's just a bad time to do this. If this has happened a year or two ago, we'd all understand, but it's just heartbreaking now with the state the game's in.
Damn.
So
it is crazy to me that you could release one of the best expansions for your game and then lay off a ton of people who made that. Like,
well,
is it, Luke? Is it?
Well,
we've never seen that before.
We've seen that one before. Yeah,
wow.
it's complete news to me. Never.
Oh, really?
before
Really?
Seen. Yeah.
Well, you know,
But,
AI
yeah,
shit.
I will say
AI
it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar laid off. They fired dozens of employees too this week. So like they were working on GTA 6. There's like a theme of look, we do we need the headcount once the stuff's made?
No.
Which is
But
The good news
depends on
is
the kind of
Riot's
game.
hiring. Riot's hiring. for
Riot
their
is
MMO.
hiring.
So
Yeah.
They are?
there was
Yeah.
there was some tweets circling around from like people who work over at Riot saying like, hey, if you guys have got S tier talent, bring them on. Like, let us see them because we're happy to get some more people on the team. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
there.
awesome.
How would you want to work for like game development when this happens every single time? Every time
Well,
you
guys,
go and you
let me-
work for a different company, and then you're like,
I don't think it actually
by the
happens
time
every
it
single
ends-
time.
No, but like, let's say if I go apply for a company, I'm like, well, I'm probably gonna have the mindset of I'm gonna work on this game until it comes out and then get laid off.
No, I think if your studio does well, they keep their head count, right? Like they want to. It's in
New
their
World
best
was
interest to
doing
keep
good.
talent around to make new games.
New World was doing good, and look at
But what was New World's like parent company or
Amazon.
like
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, that I don't know that was. I don't
If
know if
you
New
are-
World could have done anything differently. Amazon laid off 18,000 people.
Yeah. If
So-
you are a part of a company who is like a subsidiary of a much larger company, it has been proven track record at this point. If you're a subsidiary and you are not at all involved as a major part of their revenue, like Microsoft's major revenue source is Azure. Like they're making almost half of their company's total profit. It comes from, it's like billions and billions of dollars. This is such a, these like small studios are such a small amount of these different companies. Like Amazon's making a ton more money elsewhere from AWS and stuff like this.
Right.
This is such you are such a small cog in the machine that it doesn't matter to these big corporations.
And they don't care if it's news either. Amazon cares if New World players are heartbroken. It's just pennies to them. They just don't care.
Yeah. So that's why you see so many of these like indie smaller studios popping off. It's like they're making money, they are profitable, they are successful, but it's the difference between an ant and an elephant. It's like you're gonna get stepped on even if you are doing well.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm not a game developer.
I would just assume that you really want there's companies you could join, like a Bethesda or something like that, where you get on with the team. But I would think of it kind of like the rest of the entertainment industry, or take movies, for instance. They hire a bunch of people to get the movie out, and then after the movie's done, that's that, unless, the few that get selected to move on to the next project. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
But, you want real job security, maybe do your own thing. Yeah, I mean, I know it's riskier for sure, but you'll be able to.
Are those layoff numbers that we get including contracted people as well, or is it just like full-time employees that like were hired on? Like that's I think because if a lot of people that they say have been laid off were just contracted, then it doesn't seem so bad. They knew what they signed up for.
Normally they specify if it's contracts. What I've saw. I don't know. There's a lot of layoffs happening right now. Layoffs are hitting everyone right now. UPS laid off 48,000. Amazon just laid off a bunch of people, and so it's obvious that AI is about to play a big role. And I don't know, man. I think entertainment's about to change in a lot of ways. Like I think AI is about to shake things up. And what I'm concerned, what if the next generation, we like authenticity, or I like to believe we like authenticity. We like to, some of us watch a video and we like to see an actual person talk to us about their experience, right? About whatever it may be. But the next generation, maybe they may not care about that. Maybe they won't be able to really discern the difference between an AI person versus a real person. Maybe they won't even care if it is a real person. They're just like, I'm just looking for something to fill the, time right now. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. AI companionship's becoming more of a thing, where I'm coming from. And who knows? Maybe
it's getting scarily undiscernible. It's like multiple examples I could point to in the past month of like real, like not like boomers on Facebook, but like internet savvy people getting fooled by AI videos.
For sure.
Multiple examples.
That Neil deGrasse clip, the one with Neil saying that the Earth is flat, and then he pulls out the camera. He's like, "That was not me that actually said that. It looked and sounded just like him."
Yep.
It's crazy.
And granted, you look back at it, yeah, you can see small things like his hair and like just the way his face is like already like there's you can see the AI in there.
But at a glance,
at like first glance,
at
a first glance, like it's just like, oh yeah, Neil's talking about it. I heard that clip. I was like, what? Is he joking? And then it was the reveal. I was like, no way.
We're going to have to be, people become, you see like these older generations don't have the same media literacy that like we may, and I mean like grandparents, great grandparents, you know, and I think there's going to be like a new wave of how we learn to decipher what's AI or not. We have to look at people's like the littlest details. What is that ear like twitching a little bit in this video, or you just have to pay, and people won't.
We won't be able to.
Exactly.
No, we won't, guys. Yeah. If you go look at Will Smith eating spaghetti a year and a half ago to how he eats spaghetti now, the AI clip, it's so much more advanced.
I saw that.
It's just such big leaps. I think, and we live in such a world where everyone is online. I'm concerned about the future where, imagine someone invades a country, and let's just take World War II, for instance. What if Hitler was fucking vlogging the invasion of Poland, and he was like, Polish people love us. It's great, man. And like AI's got a bunch of Polish people behind him. They're like, yeah, we're having a great time. It's wonderful. When in reality, he was killing everybody. You know where I'm coming from? Instead of a concentration camp, he shows the 4 seasons. He's like, look at this place, baby. This is what we do. We invade and we build 4-season hotels. You see where I'm coming from? And the problem is, AI is so damn convincing, it may be able to build this fictitious world that unless we actually go there and see what the fuck is happening, we don't know.
Yeah.
It's scary when every video I see on X has a comment saying, is this AI?
Is it? Yeah.
You know it's bad.
Well,
every single one.
There were a lot.
NFL
TikTok
videos.
and Instagram is covered with Sora videos right now. They're like all over the place.
It's crazy, man. Like any NFL video I pull up, man, I look at the comments and someone goes, is this AI? Like that's the first comment. It has like 1,000 likes on it. I'm like, God dang, this is rough.
What is the AI stuff is all over TikTok?
Oh yeah, so
like Sora videos.
So Sora is OpenAI's new app they made that allows you to essentially put in a prompt, generate whatever the heck you want in short form like video content, and essentially how they like protect it or were supposed to protect it is they have like a Sora watermark that would appear at different spots on the screen, and so you could tell that it's AI just from the watermark. People have figured out how to hide that watermark and then make it so it doesn't show up. And instead of posting like just having it in the app, people have been taking the videos they generate on Sora and moving them over to the apps that they actually use for social media like interactions. So you're not gonna post like on Sora and all your like, because it's still, I think it's still locked behind like you have to get an invite code, but you're not gonna be posting on Sora to different friends like, hello, look at my whole like AI thing I generate. You're taking that to TikTok, you're taking it to Instagram, you're taking it to Twitter, and you're showing off these like all these different videos to where your actual like people that you interact with are. And yeah, it's been, I mean, you can see Sam Altman stealing GPUs from a Target. I've been seeing plenty of like, I don't know, pets with bazookas, different like
oh my
video
God,
games.
I have seen that where a cat walks into the door and will shoot a bazooka off and like a woman runs out. She's like, what are you doing? She grabs the cat. What the fuck?
I have to admit, there's some of them that are quite funny. That the pet bazooka one is one of my favorites. But yeah, it's like there's a whole like, I mean, there's even some people you're supposed to, you can even generate like short form of yourself, and you're supposed to like have it scan your face and like,
oh yeah, I've sent you that video,
the same person.
That YouTube video where the woman was sitting there talking and she looked like a real woman, and but about 60 seconds in the video she goes, my name is this, I'm not actually making, I scripted this video, but this is not actually me that's talking. And so and I was like, what the fuck? But I felt deceived. I wanted to be a real person. I didn't come here to listen to some AI bullshit. And but I don't know. Who at some point they're not going to give a damn. You know what I mean? When they get their ass licked, are they going to care if it's an AI bot or a real person?
Let's not get crazy.
Depends on the texture.
What? Excuse me, what?
I don't know.
The fuck did you just say?
I'm just saying, is it gonna will it feel different?
Or you think?
I don't know.
I just say it, dude. I don't act to my ass.
You tell me.
You fucking disgusting animals. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? That's an asshole. What's wrong with y'all? I don't know. I don't know.
This is what I think. The younger generation that you were saying, Cross, when they start coming across these YouTube videos because they have these iPads and they see it's and they won't realize it's AI. When they get older and they're told, yeah, those videos are AI, they're gonna be like, oh, who cares? And then that's when it's gonna continue.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's gonna happen.
I think there's gonna be AI
it's gonna
personalities.
start with our kids first.
I think it's gonna
have to just be something.
Imagine. But here's the thing. Okay, imagine if let's take Justin Bieber for instance, because he's been streaming on Twitch.
Justin Bieber.
He's been streaming on Twitch.
He has been streaming on Twitch.
He did start streaming on Twitch. I saw that.
How much shit? What if there was an AI version of Justin Bieber before Justin Bieber became who he was, right?
I would know.
All right. What if there was an AI version and everybody and all the little 13-year-old girls were crazy about him, right? Coming from. How much value would it be to keep an AI version of Justin Bieber?
Oh, around.
He never grows older. He doesn't look quite as homeless, and he stays. I'm just saying, marketable, valuable here. And here's the thing: will people even care about that?
Yes.
In the future. No, I'm not talking about our generation. I'm not talking about our generation. I'm talking about.
I would. They're gonna care.
I'm talking about.
I would.
You know what I mean? The generation. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't.
You want your
argue,
baby to idolize AI.
No.
The more the world makes something, if we make something normal, it's not gonna be.
I will tell my kids.
I
will tell my kids that ain't.
But what about the outside voice? Though?
If Kendrick and Drake were rap battling, and then an AI version of Drake came out to rap battle, we would immediately disregard Drake. You know what I'm coming from? We'd be like, Drake, what the fuck you? You know what I'm coming from? Not that he didn't get his ass beat, but the point is, we would have immediately disregarded. But at what point do people just go, damn, this AI's spitting right now. Damn, this AI's got heat now. You know what I mean?
I think we already see it. And I think the biggest thing that points to like this being 100% like totally normal in the future is VTubers. Like already we've got these caricatures of people that stay the same. It's not like a real, like there's a person behind it, but there's even been AI VTubers in certain like cases, and I don't know how successful.
Look, I'm gonna be gone this week.
Long term,
have an AI version of me stream all week. Okay, I'm gonna be gone Monday through Friday.
Cut this out of the podcast though. Cut this out.
No. Put an AI version of me up, Luke. And I just want to check. I'm gonna check in. I want to see how it's doing. Get an AI version.
Good luck. That's the thing. Like if the more of a distinct personality someone has, I feel like the harder it is to replicate them with AI in its current state.
We can get an AI.
We could get you eating guacamole, but
eating chips, going to the bathroom every 10 minutes.
Nah.
Like we can.
I want to see how AI version
portrays you.
Yeah. Well, no. How's he handle this chat? You know what I mean? Chat over there be like, you shit, onk. You can't hit shit. You suck in the game. You watch.
You know what'd be crazy?
Quit now, motherfucker.
No, he was actually like you. He would read the most irrelevant chats, the most vile ones, and then he'd pick those out.
I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but Shell has been doing these ads where it's like the employees of the company or people who work there that they've selected are talking to like younger versions of themselves that are AI generated.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that.
So I'm not a big fan of them personally. I think they're kind of cringe.
That's weird though.
I bring this up because imagine Cross is having a conversation with himself.
I'm you, but younger. Why would you want to talk to yourself? Why would you want to talk to your AI younger self? That's not even real. Talking to AI, you are real you in real life. You know what I mean?
I tell him to not carry Cross once because he will expect that every time. That's what I would tell him.
Hey, Les, you came back to me, motherfucker. I don't want to hear about it. I done moved on. Suddenly you were in my fire team one day. And your balls done dropped.
I won a Trials Raft one, and we went flawless. That's how it started all again.
Anyway, with New World ending, maybe you'll get Bombad back too.
Bombad likes Arc Raiders, Cross. If you want a game,
okay.
Yeah, get in Arc Raiders with him.
Yeah.
Game's going.
All right. Well, is that everything this week?
Yeah.
Podcast sucked today, dude. I thought we had good shit to talk about. God, dog, it's terrible.
Fucking suck today. What the fuck?
No.
We were talking about RuneScape. That's not enough.
I literally started the podcast with RuneScape for your ass. For you.
No, it's good shit. It's
behind
good
the cameras, guys. This is what gets said. He's like, you make a movie, you finish the cut. That shit was ass, bro.
Shit was, fuck all y'all, I guess.
No,
50 podcasts in the future. Cross is going to be looking back. Is like, we need to go back to how the podcast.
We need to go back to those.
We need to be. We need to go back to the good old days when I hated the podcast topics. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Another week classic. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.